What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Not for Debate. This is streak number two. Got my co-host here, Wes and Banks, and also we have a special guest again. We welcome Black Lion again to the Not for Debate podcast. What's going on, everybody?
Yo,
what's up, man?
Yeah, whatever.
What's going on?
Banks, Mr. Banks. It's nice to hear from you, brother. How you been?
I'm chilling, man.
Yeah, you better be chilling. Coronavirus.
Hey, who said that? Cardi B, what it?
Bro, she got the internet going crazy right now with that, and I can't get it out of my head for nothing.
How did we open up the segment talking about Cardi B?
I don't know, bro. Anyway,
now before we even get into depth, you know where I'm going with this, y'all. You know what Black Lion's his favorite team is, what he's a fan of. You know where we going with this, right? Do I need to say it on Black Lion?
Go ahead,
just go to
people that don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. For the people at home, Black Lion is a huge Baltimore Ravens fan.
No.
I'm gonna leave the link.
Don't just do it, a man, like that though, because before you say
No.
Black Lion,
You can sit on the loser's bench with him. Be quiet. So,
because you're not gonna do our guest like that. You need to say that he has a MVP quarterback on his football team.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can we say that? Can we at least give him that?
Black Lion. Okay. Here we go. Chill. Black Lion is a huge Baltimore Ravens fan and has an MVP quarterback that lost to a quarterback, and these are Banks' words, that was average as bleep in the divisional round.
Still is average.
So Black Lion, I want you to. Would you want to say, Wes?
I was just gonna say, whether he's average or not, he did elevate that Tennessee Titans team. So you got to give him props for that, at least.
Bruh, what did he elevate? Like, this man just had the ball off and threw the ball when the receiver was open, man. That's it.
So did Marcus Mariota
anybody
do
can do that.
Did Marcus Mariota do it or no?
Marcus Mariota did not do it because he was probably out there overthinking and thinking his job was just it's not easy playing as a quarterback when your job is
now you're making excuses.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just keeping it real.
Keep it real and say that man went in there and stepped his team up.
Elevated. He elevated his team.
He didn't. Okay, so if he elevated his team, then Tom Brady. You know what? Never mind. Keep next discussion. We can. No, he elevated. He elevated because I'm finna have a field day on y'all right now. I ain't even.
All right, back to you, Black Lion. How you feeling, man? How you feeling right now?
Now let take us back to that night where I'll probably say after Lamar Jackson threw that second pick. What was your mindset at?
Okay. Well, for one, before I even start talking about that, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be here once again. Also, I'm just so proud of the kid Lamar Jackson. The guy from Florida went beyond everybody's expectations and won MVP, the most valuable player in the National Football League. With that being said, to answer your question, when he threw that second pick, I will say, me personally, I was not concerned because one of the things that Baltimore Ravens did that they always do, but they really, really did well this year, and that's play defense. This season was all about, the Ravens offensive game with Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram, and the rushing attack. So I wasn't too worried, when he threw that second pick. But as time kept going on, I started seeing flashes of the Lamar Jackson that was a rookie last year who was making all kinds of mistakes. And at the end of the night, I was really, really disappointed, but I couldn't be so disappointed because of the miracle season that the Ravens team, this team last year brought to us fans. So to answer your question, I wasn't concerned, but I was starting to get puzzled a little bit. That's all I can say.
Okay, I think I can respect that answer. It was extremely humble. But my next question is, how impressed were you with Ryan Tannehill in that game?
Listen, when he threw that, I think he threw a touchdown. I don't know I forgot whether it was the first quarter or second quarter.
To the tight end, and it looked like he didn't even catch the ball, but he ended up catching it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was the one. It was to a receiver. His name is Khalif Raymond.
No, not the bomb.
Not the bomb. Oh, so the one to Corey Davis.
It was like in the corner. He bobbled it, then he caught it. It was weird, but yeah, after that one, that raised everybody's eyebrows.
Right, including myself. I always thought Tannehill, right, was a wide receiver that played quarterback, right? And I thought he was talented. I know Miami for the longest time. No disrespect to GreatOne DeVore, but they weren't giving him the best opportunities to succeed. And when he went to Tennessee, I thought he was going to be a glorified game manager. Somebody.
That's all he is now.
I thought he was going to be a glorified game manager.
Overrated Nick Foles. All he is.
Didn't throw the game away. When he threw that touchdown, I was like, okay, this guy is for real. And after he beat us, it really just showed how being in a different environment can really allow a player and a coach to really flourish in a different organization. So,
hey, DeVore,
big respect to Tannehill.
Hey, DeVore, for 1 second, when you get a chance, bring up Ryan Tannehill's red zone efficiency.
You don't have to. I got Ryan Tannehill's stats right here already ready to go.
So
he ain't even got to do none of that.
So do you manage a game by throwing touchdowns, being really efficient in the red zone, or
no.
kicking field
goals? Manage a game. That's exactly how you manage a game. But don't get on here and try to glorify this man and try to make it seem like he single-handedly carried that team to a victory. Because I had the stats right here in front of me. Okay? Kansas City Chiefs. All right, we're going to start from there because we ain't going to talk about the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl don't count. I ain't going to criticize them on the Pro Bowl. That's nothing. That's nothing. 21 for 31, 209 yards, 2 passing touchdowns.
That's not a bad game at all.
That's an average game.
No,
that's him putting the game in his hands.
If that's
to
more
win,
than your opponent,
ain't getting it done.
If that's more than your opponent, Banks, that's a great game. But unfortunately, if you playing freaking Patrick Mahomes Terminator Super Arm, that's just not enough.
I'm glad you said that. We're gonna go in the last 2 games, the 2 games prior to that he played. Okay. We're gonna talk about the Baltimore and New England. Okay.
Jeez,
combined
right.
attempts.
He
had 29 passing attempts in those 2 games. He only passed the ball 29 times. Only completed 15 passes for barely 100 yards passes in 2 games.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. I don't understand why we're debating it. Stop the run.
And the Patriots.
Stop the run. We wouldn't have
the Houston Texans. He struggled early in that game. Was 20 for 13. With 13 for 20, 198 with 2 touchdowns. Not granted. He threw touchdown passes, but those were strictly game manager stats. When Tom Brady was being a game manager, y'all criticized him. When Tom Brady was being a chuck down artist, you criticize him. Ryan Tannehill does it, you don't say nothing, you glorify him. Why?
Why is Tom Brady in this conversation?
Listen.
Because y'all continue to knock him. Y'all glorifying Ryan Tannehill for the same thing that you take away greatness from Tom Brady on.
Tom Brady never played for the Ravens. We're talking about the Ravens in their playoff game with the Titans. Where in the world does Tom Brady come from? Or the Patriots, for that matter. Why?
With anybody. We don't have to talk about the Ravens. We don't have to talk about Tom Brady. Anybody.
Thank you.
If anybody,
Please
if
don't.
Dak Prescott had these numbers, or we're gonna talk about Dak now. If Dak Prescott had these numbers, like Mr. Ryan Tannehill had, be honest, DeVore, would you be talking about how glorified he was? Oh, he's just a game manager. He just da-da-da. You said the same thing now about Dak Prescott. So I'm lost.
What are you lost about?
Lamar Jackson for the same thing the year prior. You criticized him for the same thing. Lamar Jackson did the same thing a year prior that Ryan Tannehill did this year, and you criticized him for it.
I didn't say anything about Lamar Jackson being a game manager. All I said was I have a problem with his accuracy where it really counts. He does not make the throws that he needs to make.
How do you feel about that now?
I'm still standing on that because he overthrew Mark Andrews in that playoff game that cost y'all a turnover.
Hold up. To DeVore's point, like I said before we even started recording, if Lamar Jackson had to throw the ball 20 to 25 times, either y'all were down or y'all were losing. So, I mean, he's not a guy you want throwing the ball that much, which is an attribute to y'all running game. Y'all running game was so strong, he didn't have to do that.
This is the best career season-wise Ryan Tannehill has ever had. Granted, it took a build-up from this. From the moment he came into the league up until now, it built. It continually built. But I would say this. 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions rookie year. Okay, rookie year, we ain't going to hold nothing to him. We'll get him that. 24-17 the following year. 27-12 the next year. 24-12 the next year. 19-12 the next year. 17-9 the following year. 22-6 this year. Jameis Winston goes out there. You know what? I ain't finna talk about it.
Why are we talking about Jameis Winston? He went 30 for 30. That's uncomparable.
I knew it was coming.
Bro, that's uncomparable.
I'm ready tonight. I'm just letting y'all know I'm ready tonight because you're not finna sit here and keep giving Ryan Tannehill credit. They even gave Ryan Tannehill Derrick Henry's money. I'm done, man. I'm done. This man led the NFL in nothing. He led him in nothing and got a fat.
He did. He led the NFL in passer rating. He had the best passer rating of any quarterback in the NFL in the 2019. Who did?
He was nice.
Look it up.
He was nice.
You ain't looking at completion percentage?
Oh, look at so we gonna talk about completion percentage or quarterback rating. Which one is it? Because that Prescott.
Whichever.
You know what?
Okay. We can talk about that. We can talk about Dak Prescott again. I'm still waiting on this contract that you said he was supposed to get
it's coming.
A year ago. It's coming. Okay,
so
I think he deserves it. I think Prescott deserves it.
Exactly, he does. And before we do anything,
no, he don't.
Before we do anything, we're just going to take another second out of the podcast to acknowledge our guest and say that his team had the MVP at quarterback this year. MVP.
Yes, sir.
MVP. No, he didn't win a Super Bowl. Neither did Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, he lost to Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs, but so what?
And you
know who else?
That's basically a shot at you,
credit. We know who else didn't get credit for the Tennessee Titans' success? That defense didn't get an ounce of credit as if they did. It's like the Kansas City Chiefs.
You sound so hypocritical right now. You sound so hypocritical.
How about
because we keep on talking about Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, but I never hear you say.
I acknowledge that. I acknowledge
when
carrying Tom Brady. I acknowledge that all the time. I said he was lucky to have the defense that he had. He was great. He was no. See, what y'all want me to do is y'all want me to say the only reason why Tom Brady has it is because of his defense. I'm not doing that because at the end of the day, if you go back and look at Tom Brady's numbers, he balled out in his Super Bowls as well. And then when he didn't have a defense against the Atlanta Falcons, when he gave up the defense gave up all those touchdowns early in the game, what did Tom Brady do? Not what Ryan Tannehill did when they was down. He came back and won it. And then he was only a one throw away from having the boys back in the playoffs, maybe possibly going to the Super Bowl again this year. Man, y'all ain't trying to. Man.
I'm just gonna say, I'm going back to Dak Prescott. I don't even know how we even got back on Tom Brady again, but
because he's the GOAT.
I don't know how you cannot say Tom Brady's not the GOAT though.
Because they some haters. You listening to a Steelers fan and you listening to a Dolphins fan. I just want you to pay attention to that. Two teams that religiously get their big beat every single year by the people. That's why they feel that way.
Okay,
That's why they feel that way.
Okay, Black Lion.
And you a Baltimore Ravens fan. You even recognize Tom Brady as being the GOAT.
Let's say he was the GOAT. Do you or do you not think it was just all him though?
No, I think it was the combination between him, Belichick.
But when did I ever say it was all Tom Brady though?
Acknowledge the combination of this man having 7 seconds to throw to Randy Moss. When have you ever seen that watching football?
It's called Dante Culpepper in the Minnesota Vikings. We've seen that before.
I don't know if Culpepper had 7 seconds.
I know
of course he
did. But...
Go back and look at the highlights, bro.
Yeah, on NFL 2K he did, but not in real life, bro. Listen, Banks, listen, like, just be real. Tom Brady had all type of privileges and advantages that nobody else ever got. They made up the tuck. They made the tuck rule.
How does a 6th-round draft pick get advantages?
Apparently, he the chosen one, bro. I'm
just saying, how does a 6th-round draft pick get advantages when you're not even supposed to make an NFL roster?
And maybe this the guy.
They say the same thing about Lamar Jackson. I bet every general manager in the league, every owner in the league, regretting that now, except for the Baltimore Ravens. I bet they regret not having that boy on this team.
I think they regret calling him a wide receiver at that too.
They counted him out, and he showed the world. He showed the world how good he is. They counted him out.
They actually called him a running back too, I think.
Yeah.
DeVore called him running back. Go back and listen to the film.
I wouldn't mind him playing running back on my team right now.
Speaking of DeVore, all right, since it's so Tom Brady heavy in here, I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on Tom Brady signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Why?
Nobody want to go first?
All right, I'll go. All right. I like the move. I just wish it didn't come at the expense of Jameis Winston. Like, I like Jameis. I ain't gonna lie. I think he had a lot of potential. He threw a lot of interceptions, but he also threw a lot of touchdowns. And I think he threw a lot of yards too. He threw the most passing yards, I think.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna drive
yards.
you all the way down the field, and then I'm gonna throw a pick in the red zone. You can't win football games like that.
Right. He has some work he has to do, but I like the move. Tom Brady has Mike Evans to throw the ball to, top 5 wide receiver in the league. I don't know if they're gonna win the Super Bowl, but I think Tom Brady instantly makes them a playoff team. It's just my thoughts.
I agree with everything you just said. Mike. I think the move. I honestly feel like Jameis Winston could have learned a lot sitting behind Tom Brady for a year. They could have had what they would have called a quarterback competition, but we all know more than likely Tom Brady would have came out of that outcome as the starting quarterback of the Buccaneers. But I think Jameis Winston would have had an opportunity to learn a lot from Tom Brady. But it was a situation where Tampa had to make a decision because you bringing in Tom Brady on pretty much a guaranteed $50 million contract, given the fact that the contract details state that you can't franchise tag him, nor can you trade him. So you're just giving him $50 million basically. Because I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a pretty good deal for him, especially. And you're not going to turn around and pay Jameis Winston all that money in his contract year. So they had a decision to make. So unfortunately, whatever. I would have loved to see Jameis Winston learn from Tom Brady, but I don't think Jameis Winston is as bad as a lot of people keep trying to make him seem. He was in a very uncompromising situation playing in Tampa, where you pretty much have like DeVore likes to fire back on with Ryan Tannehill. You got no offensive line, you got no running game, you got no head coach. He doesn't have Adam Gase, thank God. But he didn't have a lot early in his career. I really think Jameis Winston plays his best football when he has a compliment back, like a lot of good quarterbacks in the league have. You have at least a decent running game. Like I think the Green Bay Packers offense this year was a little bit more difficult to stop simply because Aaron Williams was able to step up to the plate and run the ball consistently, which took a lot of pressure off Aaron Rodgers. It made their offense very unpredictable versus just being predictable last year, the following year before when Aaron Rodgers was just throwing the ball all over the place. It feels good having a bat that you can just hand the ball off to and knowing you're going to consistently get good yards. That's good. So Jameis Winston, unfortunately, never got that. He never got that opportunity. I think Jameis Winston is probably going to end up being on the team where he's going to have an opportunity to compete. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go somewhere like Jacksonville. I think it would be a great spot for him, even though I love Gardner Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew a lot. I like Gardner Minshew a lot. I think coming to even the Rams. Personally, I think Jameis Winston could come in the Rams and try to help us out, but we don't have that kind of cap to make a move because I'm just not big on Jared Goff anymore. Now, I will give DeVore credit. I will definitely give DeVore credit about Jared Goff. He was 100% right about Jared Goff. That shit is trash, and I can't wait to get him off our team. But, I'm going to pass it over to, I guess, Wes or DeVore now. They can, get what they feeling about it.
Go ahead.
See, Wes already said that he doesn't want to comment on Tom Brady, but I think
what about Jameis
Tom
Winston in
Brady's
Pittsburgh? Just, that's a good move too with Roethlisberger. You know what I'm saying? I won't mind that.
Jameis Winston in Pittsburgh.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's been brought up in Bleacher Report a lot, but I think I'd rather see him like behind Drew Brees or somebody, because I don't think they fully trust Taysom Hill. Like, I think they capping. I think they capping by putting a first round tender on him. I think they really capping. But
I don't see what the hype is with Taysom Hill though. His numbers ain't that good.
Of course, you playing behind Drew Brees.
You're talking about Drew Brees. Your numbers ain't gonna
Ain't what numbers, man? You ain't got no numbers.
But that's the thing. His numbers are not good. Like, he does not have no eye-staggering numbers for him to be an NFL starter in this league. There's a reason why.
The potential. What numbers did Patrick Mahomes have when he was sitting behind Alex Smith? You feel me? Like, he got all.
He was a top 10 pick though. He was a top 10 pick as a quarterback 3 years ago.
Okay, but
we talking about Taysom Hill, who wasn't even what draft did he come out in?
I forget, but I remember him at BYU. He was hard at BYU, man. But the thing with them, they dressing his potential like he is the next Drew Brees, but better. I think they capped him a little bit with that. The dude is an athlete, but I don't see him being Drew Brees at all. Anyway, go ahead, DeVore.
You saying Taysom Hill is the next Drew Brees?
I didn't say that. I said I think they capping, like they really trying to pump fake like he is by putting a first round tender on him for any team that wants him.
I know what you're saying, Wes. Yeah, they're trying to up his stock to make him more presentable than he actually is.
Yeah.
To sell it for you can't knock him for that though. The Saints always got some up their sleeve anyway. Just like they just recently got what's his name, Emmanuel Sanders, those bastards. But
and I wanted him in Baltimore.
Right, he would have been great, right? In Baltimore. See, Baltimore needs, honestly, to go back to the Baltimore situation, even though I know we're talking about Jameis, to go back to that point, I think Lamar Jackson, which I would agree with DeVore on, Lamar Jackson still needs to develop a quarterback style of a play where he needs to be able to, if they need to put the ball in his hands for him to pass the ball, he needs to work on that more. He needs some more receivers. I like the guy. What's the receiver name that y'all had this year? The rookie. God,
Marquise Brown, related
Hollywood
to
Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's from down in the area. He's from the Hollywood area in Florida. So yeah, he was a good player in high school. But I think they need another weapon besides the tight end. They're good at the tight end spot. I think they're pretty solidified there. The run game is there. They need another guy that's more of a go-to threat. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go after that kid. What's the kid from Alabama if he's available, which I doubt.
CD Lamb?
Really,
Jerry Jeudy.
Judy, not just Judy, but the other kid, the other guy that's
You talking about Henry Ruggs, the fast
Henry.
dude.
Oh yes.
If he's still around,
If
got
that
pick number
boy was
28, so
if that boy was a fall to Baltimore with Hollywood and him on the outside, it's a wrap. You just go ahead and pass him the Super Bowl. They're the new Kansas City Chiefs, just that's a lot better because their quarterback style is just it's unstoppable.
Whoa. Don't do that, because Lamar
You
Jackson
disagree?
is good, bro, but he don't got what Patrick Mahomes got in that arm. I'm sorry.
I know that,
He
but what I'm
don't.
telling you is this. I know that. I agree with you there. But I think there would be a better team because it's just gonna take less eyes off Lamar Jackson because it's another threat downfield that you got to worry about.
Wait. I
I'm
gotta challenge that for a second. I'm not saying that Lamar is Patrick Mahomes, but what do you mean he don't have the arm? I feel like Mahomes is a better
He
quarterback.
got a powerful
But I
arm. He's
think
saying accurate.
Lamar has a cannon. He can throw it.
Lamar
75.
does have a cannon, but Lamar
It's not
can't-
accurate. Not accurate enough as.
Not even saying that. I've seen good accuracy from Lamar Jackson. I've seen Mahomes though under pressure. You can look at the Super Bowl film and everything. Under pressure, roll right, roll back left, roll back. He back in the backfield 20 yards and throws a strike. That's not normal, bro.
Right.
And this man does this consistently. This dude is, without a doubt, the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
100% agree with that. 100%.
And Lamar is not there yet. Lamar athletic ability is off the charts as far as scrambling, running. Even his throwing is probably in the upper percentile. But Mahomes is just on another level than any and everybody else, bro.
I would say a lot of people sleep on Lamar's decision making. Lamar, I know a lot of people.
And
think he can run,
probably.
but he didn't throw too many picks, and he made some really great plays throughout the season. Not saying he's on Mahomes level. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
No,
people
you're
sleep on
right.
him.
You're absolutely right, and you could probably attribute that to the game plan of run. Okay, now y'all in the box, stopping the run. We gonna hit you with the tight ends.
Right.
Because really, that's what the game plan was, and it worked so well. It's just that if Lamar needed to orchestrate a drive down the field to anybody other than tight ends, it was kind of a problem.
All right.
Which hopefully, they work on, they get that right. And then Lamar, he might ascend to Patrick Mahomes level.
I don't even know about that. I think Mahomes is right now is a once in a lifetime. I wouldn't say that yet, but he's
even listen.
He has
If
the
that man's
potential to
career
be up there with Peyton Manning,
if
Tom
his
Brady.
career ended today, dog, listen, you still got to give it up. That man probably could have been the best ever. It's not like no one-hit wonder where 1 year he did good and the next year you're like, where is this guy?
All right, I agree. Mahomes is he made a believer out of me. I remember 2 years ago when they played the Ravens, and I swore up and down that Mahomes wasn't that dude. He just hasn't played a good team, and he made some incredible plays against Baltimore, and I was like, yo, that dude's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I don't think people respected him enough, especially after he got hurt. Which brings me to our next little segment. Word of the day, y'all. Word of the day. Venerate. To regard with respect and reverence. Who don't we venerate enough? Or who do we venerate too much in the league right now? Everybody, give me a player.
Damn, that was kind of right off the bat.
Yo, can you explain that definition one more time?
Venerate.
Don't let this master's degree fool you. I'm not that smart.
Venerate means to regard with respect or reverence. Just somebody you admire or respect, or somebody who doesn't get enough admiration or respect. Just give me one player.
I'll give you one. Benjamin Watson, tight end. I think he does.
That's a real good pick.
That's a G pick right there.
He does so much for communities and does so much for children outside of the game of football. The dude, I know a lot of guys have their foundations and stuff like that, but Benjamin Watson for about decades, not decades, but for at least 10 years has been truly making a difference in children's lives. So I
shout out to Ben Watson, man.
Shout out Benjamin Watson. If you're hearing this, if you're listening, we appreciate you, bro.
Definitely.
Who you got, Banks?
I gotta hear Banks'
Who you
pick.
got,
I gotta
Banks?
hear his pick.
Just please.
Phillip
don't.
Rivers.
Oh, thank goodness.
Phillip Rivers.
Oh, whew, that was close.
I mean, we're not going to say the obvious. You already know what my obvious pick was, but
Well,
I'm
no,
not gonna
say
talk
your
about
obvious
that.
pick.
No, it's Phillip Rivers. That's my obvious pick, but Tom Brady's up there too. But anyway, Phillip Rivers. I don't think Phillip Rivers get enough credit. I think he's been down a lot. I would love to see, like I was very excited to see Andy Reid get a Super Bowl ring this year. Like once Tom Brady and the Patriots were eliminated out of the playoffs contention, I immediately switched my gears and started rooting for Andy Reid simply because of the amount of just the respect that he has universally over the league. How many players and owners respect him. So it was happy to see that. But Phillip Rivers is another player too that a lot of players, opposing teams, they just respect him. They respect the hell out of his game. I mean, some people don't like it. They say he talks a lot of shit on the field, but a lot of players love him a lot too. And you look at his numbers over time. He has some really good numbers as well. He's always played good football from the beginning. Considering I don't know if you guys remember the whole Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers thing. Draft day. Y'all remember that? Yeah, that was a long time ago. But he was part of that. He was part of that trade that sent him because he was actually supposed to be a New York Giant. So think about that. I mean, Phillip Rivers probably should be a Super Bowl winning champion right now. You know what I mean? If things would have been different,
Yeah, that's true.
So
Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, I think Phillip Rivers goes to the Hall of Fame regardless. I mean, I'm saying, brother, he wins the Super Bowl tonight. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's
he has
not
the
a
numbers and
thought.
everything.
He's going.
Yeah, he has the numbers and everything. Now Eli Manning, even though he has two Super Bowl rings, his stats don't say, "Oh, I'm a Super Bowl, quarterback." But he's going to the Super Bowl simply because he beat the Patriots twice.
I'll tell you what does say it. His bank account says it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
His bank account
He's the highest
says
paid
it.
player in all time, I believe. The highest paid quarterback ever.
Second highest paid.
Who's that? Who's number one?
I think it was Peyton.
Yeah. But we know the managers are well off. They don't have nothing to worry about. We know that.
Because they're better than Tom Brady.
Right. Oh, I mean, you say that. I mean, but too bad their rings don't equal Tom Brady's together. But
Yeah, the help didn't equal out either.
No, it did, and they won a Super Bowl when it happened, right? Like y'all say, when the Broncos had Peyton Manning had a good defense, he won it, right?
He had a new arm. Peyton did nothing that year.
Right, and neither did Tom Brady. Like y'all say, and he still won it.
God,
So
why
we
you
even.
keep coming to Tom Brady, man?
You said Tom Brady. I was quiet. I ain't say nothing
You
about
did.
Tom Brady.
You
I'm just
did,
arguing
bro.
all y'all points.
Do the
Tom-
Patriots play the Bucks this year? I would love to watch that game.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Do they?
No,
I doubt it. They'd
they
have
don't.
brought it up.
We played the. You said the Patriots play the Bucks? Nah, they don't.
Dang, that-
AFC East plays the Rams and company.
Oh yeah.
All right, anyway,
Man, that'd
go
be
ahead.
something, man.
DeVore, who's your player we don't venerate enough, or we venerate too much?
We probably don't venerate enough. I was gonna say Ryan Tannehill, but I feel like we focused enough on Ryan Tannehill so
time out.
far.
We're not being fanboys. Let's be for real. Okay.
I'm not being a fanboy, but I think
No, that's a good pick.
respect needs to be given.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, yes, respect needs to be given. But I think who we need to venerate probably. That's a tough one. That's a really, really tough one.
It's not.
Kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
So many people that are overrated and underrated that we just either give too much props to, or we don't give enough props to.
So we should have just did an overrated.
You know what?
Underrated.
No.
Okay, well, I guess I could go. I go home with my own team. I think that they venerate Byron Jones a little bit too much, to be honest with you.
Well, the dude.
You don't like Byron
was,
Jones? Wait, he just got him on the team and played it down yet. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, the way that they hyped him up as being a shutdown corner, like, I don't believe the hype. I understand that, but does he deserve to be the highest paid corner though?
Yeah. I mean, he
No.
he doesn't,
no.
but I mean, I can understand why they did it. You need corners, man. You pay for that position. Look at the way the game is played now. You got to pay corners, bro. That's just what you got to do. Corners
You
are
gotta pay corners, but I'm just saying, like, you only had 2 interceptions in a 4-year career, though. 2 interceptions.
It happens.
See, that's
bro.
different though, because our quarterback stowing his way though.
That's what I was telling you.
Or is he catching them when they throw his way? Like, I mean, it's a lot that we can just say that.
But quarterbacks don't throw Patrick Peterson's way, but he still ends up having interceptions.
Hey,
That be-
Peterson been getting burnt a lot though. Ain't a lot of years.
Well, I mean, that's not handling Patrick Peterson like that though, man. That's just be real. Patrick he's had a lot of issues with his injuries, like hamstrings and stuff like that. So that's just keep it real. We gave Darrell Reeves the benefit of the doubt. We're gonna give Patrick Peterson the benefit of the doubt now.
No,
we ain't gonna just do Patrick Peterson like that.
For the doubt. It's Randy Moss you're sticking. You know what 4-2 look like. They are who we thought they were.
But I'm just saying, like, we still throw at Stephon Gilmore, so why are we giving Byron Jones a pass? And I was telling Wes last week on the pod, we had the top 100 three times in the last 3 years. I didn't see Byron Jones on that list not one time, and it was one year the Dallas Cowboys had 10 players on the top 100, and nobody said a thing. So this
probably most of their offense that year.
Probably, but Byron Jones has not been spoken of. Like, it's just, I just feel like he's just overrated. I'm sorry.
All right.
He's not a playmaker. He's like, I feel like for you to be the highest paid corner, you need to be able to make plays, turn the football over, and make an impact for your team.
Shout out.
And he doesn't do that.
Shout out Byron Jones. If you listen to this, Byron, get us some picks out there. I want to root for mine
Please.
so bad.
You're looking like Carlos Rogers right now.
Oh, gosh. I know you ain't do that man like that.
I'll say, how about this? The Washington Redskins, Carlos Rogers. That's the one that didn't catch nothing.
Yeah, he wasn't all that. Anyway, a player that I'm thinking is being over-venerated right now is Eric Ebron. I'm trying to figure out why did we sign this guy.
That's a good pickup for y'all. You tripping? But to me, was it last year?
Maybe I'm just being a fanboy right now, but to me, he has always been this dude with all this potential and no hands.
I kind of agree with that too.
Like, I've seen him drop so many passes in Detroit. I guess I'm just thinking whatever he did in Indy was fluke. And hopefully he proves me wrong. Eric, please, if you listen to this, go out there, do your thing, get us number 7, so I ain't got to hear Banks mouth no more.
Well, I have to be quite honest with you, Wes. Eric Ebron is probably the best tight end that you've had in like the last 8 years, 10 years. I'll probably say.
Breaks. We don't even know if Eric Ebron is better than Vance McDonald.
I think he is. That non-catching beep.
So wait, he's already better than Heath Miller? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, I think he's better than Heath Miller.
Athletically,
Heath Miller was that dude.
He might. I don't even know about athletically. He probably run faster. That's it. But Heath was a beast, dude.
I'm just gonna say Eric Ebron is going to bring a different dynamic to the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, where he can attack the field vertically, compared to all your other tight ends that you had in the past that was like running like 5.3 40s. Like Eric Ebron's running like a 4.6. He's gonna make some plays for y'all with Big Ben. Now, whether he hold on to the football, that's gonna be up to him. But he has the potential to make y'all
initially, bro.
Offense. Yeah, okay, but I'm just saying you can't ignore the fact that he had 13 touchdowns 2 years ago with the Indianapolis Colts.
You know why I know that? Because every time Andrew Luck get in the red zone, he just throw it up. And somehow Eric Ebron come down with it. Whether it's fluky or whether this dude has developed a knack for catching touchdowns, we'll see.
And since we on the topic of the Pittsburgh Steelers, y'all need all the help y'all can get it on the offensive side of the football.
You said running the football?
Nah, on the offensive side of the football, y'all need a lot of help on as far as relieving some of the pressure off of Juju Smith-Schuster. Yes, you was right about Juju not being able to be a true number one for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think Eric Ebron will help y'all a lot.
I tell you what else I was right about. He still had a better
But wait a
season
minute,
than
wasn't Juju
Antonio
hurt
Brown.
this year? We're not gonna give him. We're not gonna at least give him like 5 or 6 games. He was hurt. Like, you know what I mean,
Hey, being available is
to be fair.
part of it, baby. You know that.
I'm about to say Juju.
Would
He
you-
was hurt, so that's. I wouldn't say. I think he's still number one. I just.
You know, healthy Juju didn't do much either, right?
Yeah, he didn't do much when he was healthy. He was
also
invisible.
didn't have his starting quarterback throwing the ball.
I don't want to
And
hear
we're
that.
gonna keep
I
making
didn't want
excuses. DeAndre Hopkins. done had
DeAndre Hopkins gets
17
it done with
different
whoever's
starters.
back
DeAndre
there.
Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the league. Come on now.
Okay.
And nobody seemed to believe that a couple years ago when we was talking about Odell with the one-handed catch. They just overlooked DeAndre.
That's true. I wouldn't compare Juju to DeAndre yet, honestly, in my opinion.
You know, it's crazy. Odell's numbers aren't even that great compared to what they could be, and this dude still has potential to be a top 3 receiver in this league.
Who, Odell?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Could you imagine if this dude went to a team that really gets him the ball? Say he signed to the Saints instead of Emmanuel Sanders, or freaking, I don't know, somebody who would get him the ball.
Him and Michael Thomas
Oh,
on the same
maybe
team.
the Los Angeles
that'd
Rams?
be ridiculous.
Nah, Jared Goff over there. He don't want to go over there.
Jared Goff will find him though. Let's be real.
It don't matter if he found him. I mean, Jared Goff, he's not that great. Let's be honest. I'll take Jameis over Jared Goff right now. Jameis beat Jared Goff too, so shut up.
I was gonna say Odell had a sneaky 1,000-yard season
the
again
Rams got
this
rid of
time.
Gurley. Are we going to talk about that or?
Oh yeah, let's break that down. Apparently Gurley, they say his knee is worse than the Rams were even portraying his arthritis, but I think he's gonna prove everybody wrong in Atlanta.
I told Banks that before we even got in the training camp last year. Banks, when I say stuff up the heart, Banks, I'm not just talking trash. I'm telling you from a very, very reliable source that told me on the inside, I'm on the outside looking in, that have experienced these type of things. So the next time I do say something like that, do I give you a heart to heart? I think you need to roll with it.
Yeah, but you still talking about Jordan Howard as a top 5 back. Man, you got to relax.
I'm not going to dwell on what should have happened. I'm just going to say when we were going into week 9, Jordan Howard was on pace to rush it for 1,000. It was unfortunate that Miles Sanders and the other running backs by committee in Philadelphia got it going, and Jordan Howard didn't get his spot back, but he was on pace for rushing for over 1,000.
I think running backs have like a very, 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 very short shelf life for their great. You know what I mean? Because of the
right.
pounding that they take from getting hit and all that. So, I mean, not that saying Ty Gurley isn't a good football player. He's not a good running back. I just think they have a very, very, very short shelf life. I think Adrian Peterson was one of the few running backs that been playing at a high level once they got paid and still was considered like top 2, top 3, number 1, that type. At least I can remember.
Let's talk about a guy we don't venerate enough again. Curtis Martin.
Oh, sad.
Nah, but I was gonna say, I was gonna say,
You made me
I
think
love
of
Curtis
Curtis,
Martin.
bro, because Curtis went for like 10 or 11 years straight of 1,000 yards.
1,000 yards.
you might as well give it to Frank Gore then too.
Oh,
Okay,
most
all
definitely.
right.
Yeah, he got
That's
another-
true.
Oh, definitely. That's another guy we could have talked about, man.
Curtis Martin was a little bit before my time, just slightly. So
Oh man, you had no idea how good Curtis Martin was when he first came into the league, boy. When he was in the Patriots, that boy was ridiculous.
Yeah, Curtis was a problem, dude.
Yeah,
That's
like
when,
I only know Curtis Martin when he went to the
Who was
Jets.
coaching him
like,
at that time?
Even at the
what's his
Jets,
name?
he was that dude.
It was Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells. Mm-hmm.
When he went to the Jets, he was still that dude for a while.
He was.
Yeah, he was running that rock with the Jets. But I was gonna say that Todd Gurley pickup for the Falcons kind of reminds me of the Steven Jackson when the Falcons ended up picking him up.
True. That's funny. Jackson was hurt just like Gurley was. And the Falcons
Steven
picked
Jackson
him
was a
up.
bad boy.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
I don't think
He was.
Gurley's as hurt as how they trying to make it sound. I just don't think Gurley wanted to play for the Rams anymore. I just don't think he wanted to play. That's what it came down to.
Bruh, you was playing in the Super Bowl, and how many touches did Gurley get in the Super Bowl?
Exactly.
I think I'm.
Like 4.
So you're telling me that Todd Gurley just didn't want to play
I don't
for
think he wanted to play.
the Rams at that time on the grandest stage of them all?
I don't think he liked the direction. Not saying that for him. I'm talking about this season. I don't think he liked the direction where McVay was going with the offense. As you can see, McVay put the offense in the hands of Jared Goff, not Todd Gurley, and it cost us the playoffs. Tell you, man.
That happened.
I'm
Nah,
telling you, it was
I can
McVay.
believe that. I can
It was
believe
McVay.
that.
He put the season in the hands of Jared Goff, thinking Jared Goff is a perennial all-star, and he's not. And it cost us. And Todd Gurley, like, I'm not finna come out here for what? Like, y'all just trying to need me for? I'm not a receiver. Y'all trying to use me in the passing game. Like, run me. Like, you know, hey, that's just me. But Mike Anderson can come in there. Whoever was it, Mike Anderson? What's the other guy's name? Not Mike Anderson.
C.J. Anderson.
C.J. Anderson can come in there and get the ball, and Anyway, I digress. I love McVay, but he's starting to give me that Sean Payton vibe about him, where the cockiness is just a little bit too much, and it's costing us. Seriously,
Wait,
it's costing us.
wasn't Sean Payton putting hits out on players or something like that?
Yeah, but
It
everybody they
wasn't
glorify Sean Payton though.
It wasn't Sean
It was.
It was Greg. It was Greg
Williams. It was the
And
defensive
Sean
coordinator.
Payton signed off on it.
He didn't know nothing about it, bro.
You believe that?
And he got suspended a whole freaking season. But yet, we know Belichick is cheating. And he get to play in the playoffs. So.
Now you got a point there though.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
I can't even argue that. That's a great point.
Like, I'd have been okay. I'd have shut up if they would have suspended him for at least one of the playoff games. But no. Like you said, but
I was gonna say Sean McVay probably has more Adam Gase tendencies, where he likes to go away from running the football and just sling the ball all around
go away
the field.
from running the football and smoke crack. Yep.
That hasn't been confirmed yet.
Bro, the way this man called plays, he got to be on crack.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Why did the Jets hire this crackhead? I don't
Hey,
get it.
it's when you have Peyton Manning in your back pocket, you got to.
Shout out to the Jets.
Like, you got-
man. Hopefully y'all do better with y'all coaching. You got Le'Veon Bell and you can't use him. I just don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
if
yeah,
we
I
didn't
totally
have
forgot
Mark
they had
Ingram,
Le'Veon.
I would love for him to come to Baltimore.
Now think
Who,
about that.
Le'Veon?
Think about the similarities in the coaching staff. Think about that. McVay and him. Not saying that McVay's a way better coach, by the way, but think about the game planning and the styles that they coach. Both have really good perennial running backs. Don't use them in the run game. Robbie Anderson had a career year under McVay's offense, to be honest with you. Robbie Anderson balled out. But
Robbie Anderson?
yeah, Robbie Anderson.
receiver.
Under Gaze.
Look at his
Under
numbers.
Gaze.
He was with
Look at his
the
numbers.
Jets?
You talking about with Gaze?
Look at his numbers.
Oh, okay, with Gase, Adam Gase, yeah. Kenny Stills probably had a good year under Adam Gase too, because I remember they was airing it out to him.
That's true. No, not really. 52 catches, 779, 5 touchdowns.
That's probably his
I
best.
thought he had
season.
like over 1,000.
That was probably
Nah,
still his best season.
2017. I'm talking about Robbie Anderson. 2017 was his best season. 63, 941, 7 TDs.
Right.
He got hurt though. Remember that.
I guess. I don't really believe that Robbie Anderson is a true number one anyway. Did he even find a home yet?
Not yet.
In free agency? Oh, he hasn't been signed yet, so
Come
there you
on
go.
to the Steelers, Robbie. We need you.
Proof is in the pudding.
Robbie Anderson
That'd
be
be
on
a
the team
great
before the
pickup
season
for
started.
y'all, the Steelers.
That
He got
wouldn't be a bad
speed.
pickup. He got speed, hands, playmaking ability. That's what we need right
I
now.
don't think so. I'll pass on that. I don't think he's that good.
But you still gonna pick up Jordan Howard first over everybody. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
He's okay. I mean, what you mean you don't get it? It's not rocket science, Wes. I'm about to break this down to you right now.
Go ahead,
I'm about to
bro.
break this down to you right now. You ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, he's had 1,000 yards rushing except for the last 2 seasons, and in 2018 he only had 935. And the reason why he didn't get 1,000, that's because they drafted Tyreek Cohen, and he was splitting carries. So if he would have been by himself, he would have had 1,000. So I don't understand what the knock is on Jordan Howard is.
If he had to split carry, that mean he wasn't that great, was it?
No, I'm not. Nah, absolutely not. Because that's what teams are doing now. Like I feel like the Dallas Cowboys,
So
they
you
don't
telling
need to be
Christian
splitting no damn
McCaffrey
carries.
split Carries. So you telling Leonard Fournette split carries? What about?
I don't even
Dalvin?
know who's running.
You don't know?
Dalvin, yeah, he's splitting carries. Who's that? Who's that? Mastay or whatever his name is. He's splitting carries with Mastay. But what I'm saying to you is,
Alexander
you
Madison
think
did not split carries? That man got in for maybe a play or two when Dalvin Cook was tired.
the San Francisco 49ers is splitting carries?
The reason I bring that's different. Them boys got 4 good running backs.
I think if you're a
What you mean
superstar
that's
running
different?
back, you don't split the carries, but everybody else is
Right.
committee now.
Ezekiel Elliott is splitting carries.
I don't know.
So I don't. What is that? What is that?
I
What?
guess, bro. Listen, Kareem Hunt wasn't splitting carries with nobody when he was with the Chiefs. If you that dude, bro, you ain't splitting carries. That's all. I'm saying.
I'm just saying that Melvin Gordon was splitting carries with Austin Eckler, but
I agree with that to an extent.
that's just the way that the league is going now. They're just splitting carries.
Okay,
It's just
you know
that's just
what?
how it is.
I'll agree with you on that, but I think you overhyped Jordan Howard a little too much, bro.
I just gave you the numbers. He had 1,000 yards, 2 straight seasons, and was what? 60, maybe 55 yards short of 1,000 in 2018, and 2019 he got hurt, and he was on pace for 1,000.
All right, but don't.
It's a good.
Is he
It's a
going
good
to be
back.
the starting running back for y'all?
Absolutely, the
Oh,
Dolphins were
without a
ranked
doubt.
last. The Dolphins were ranked last
They
in
gonna
rushing
be,
with 75.2.
What's the white boy y'all had
The-
at the end of the season? I know it ain't gonna be him.
Patrick Layard. He wasn't even our leading rusher. Ryan Fitzpatrick was our leading rusher with over 200 yards rushing. So
Oh, snap.
I know it ain't gonna be him.
There's only one white boy. There's only room for one white boy running back in this league. That was proof in the pudding. That guy was garbage. They
Coronavirus.
did. They did better.
Coronavirus.
They did better getting me out there. That shit was trash. He had that one game. We had some pretty good numbers. And the
Yeah,
Dolphins,
because they
were
ain't have
going crazy
nobody else
about
to
him.
get the ball to. They 2 receivers was hurt.
What's that receiver y'all name? That name? I can't remember the guy's name. He was so good. He got hurt.
The tall dude, man. What's his name? Williams.
oh, you talking about yeah. Damn, why can't I think of his name right now? I know it's Williams.
He's
Is it
good.
Patrick? Lamar.
No, it's not Patrick Williams. It's Preston. Falk.
Preston Williams.
Preston Williams.
Something with a P.
He's gonna be a bad boy in 2020.
Yeah, if y'all draft Tua or some shit.
No, we don't need to.
Y'all need Tua, bro. Either him or Justin Herbert. Y'all need him.
We don't need to.
Wait, don't the
Banks already
Dolphins have
said.
like 3 first-round picks?
Yeah, because they traded
do.
all their talent away.
That's why we're not giving up these first round picks. You got to think about it. Over the past, let's say 3 or 4 years, how many of those top 3 quarterback draft picks actually have been successful? Because off the top of my head, I'm thinking about Baker Mayfield, I'm thinking about Marcus Mariota, I'm thinking about Jameis Winston. They haven't exactly panned out the way that we thought they was going to pan out.
Well,
Wait, wasn't Mahomes? When did Mahomes come into the league? Like 2016, 2015, 2017?
The same, wasn't it the same as Deshaun
He
Watson?
came in with
So
Baker.
it was Deshaun Watson and Mitchell Trubisky draft. I know that.
Okay. Now you have
So-
a point though on with that.
Oh yeah, Mitchell Trubisky went number 1 overall, didn't he?
Nah, he went like 10.
You sure?
Trubisky went 10th. Somebody got to look that up. But
Let's look.
I'm
that
just
up.
saying,
Yeah, I
Somebody
remember
look
the
that up.
Bears drafted up to get him instead of drafting Patrick Mahomes. They had Patrick. They could have drafted Patrick Mahomes. They
Exactly.
drafted up and got Mitchell Trubisky, which was dumb.
Very.
Was Mahomes that good in college though?
Hell yes. I don't know if you've seen him
Oh, yeah,
versus
most
Lamar
def, bro.
Jackson.
He was the man of Texas Tech.
Okay.
That boy was good.
So Chicago
That was
just
good.
good.
Yep.
yeah, Chicago
And they always do.
Chicago just whiffed. They just literally just whiffed. Whoever's in the front office that was evaluating talent needs to be fired.
Well, I mean, we can say that for a lot of our teams, honestly. Like for the Steelers, for instance, we drafted Ziggy Hood, Rashard Mendenhall, Jarvis Jones, but then you turn around and draft a guy like Antonio Brown in the 6th round. So gotta give or take there.
I guess at the end of the day, it's just like a hit or miss type
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Or you can be my Rams and trade out 500 first-round picks for the next forever.
Bro, y'all
Jared
got
Goff.
Jalen Ramsey, though.
That's what I don't want the Dolphins to do. Do something dumb like the Washington Redskins or the Rams to trade like 3 first-round picks for the number 1 overall pick of the draft and end up drafting a bust.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Oh,
Because I'm pretty sure the Washington Redskins, they put their organization in the dark ages for like what, 6 straight seasons after that.
I would trade one of the first round picks and get like 2 threes or something like that. I don't know.
I think it all comes down to what happens at number 1. To be quite honest with you, I want the Cincinnati Bengals to get Chase Young, so that'll just screw up the whole draft for everybody, and then the Washington Redskins will have no choice but to trade back, and either the Chargers or the Lions will have to slide into that pick, I think, for them to grab either Tua or Justin Herbert.
the Bengals would be pretty
excuse me.
dumb to not get Joe Burrow.
He's
But
from
there's
Cincinnati,
that-
too. Oh, Ohio.
Yeah, he's from Ohio, but that's the thing. It's a possibility he may say that he doesn't want to go to the Bengals. He's working out with Carson Palmer's brother right now. Yeah, they talking about him possibly doing what Eli did.
Cool. Draft him still and just trade him and get more.
Well, you don't want to sit back and have a situation what they had with Joey Bosa, where they actually waited to get him in to sign the contract, and they wait till like midway through the season for him to actually play. But I don't think Joe Burrow would even take that approach. I think he would just hold out the whole season until they actually did trade him. But at that point, the team that's trading for Joe Burrow would have all the leverage because they just want to get some type of compensation for him.
Right.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But-
I guess.
But I don't know. I don't know. But I honestly think due to Carson Palmer's brother, I believe his name is Jesse, if I'm not mistaken. He was a quarterback
Jordan
at
Palmer.
Jordan. That's right, Jordan. He's working. Joe Burrow is working out with him. I think he's his quarterback coach. He's very, very close with Carson. And here, listen to what Carson had to say about Cincinnati. Is not very many good things, and the way that Joe Burrow is actually moving out here, as far as in the Twitter. I'm not going to put too much into his likes on Twitter and stuff like that, but it could possibly hurt his draft stock.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I honestly think the Patriots are gonna probably jump in and take that pick. To be honest with you, I have this feeling in the back of my mind they're gonna do something amazing in this draft, because I don't think they're just gonna sit on Brian Hoyer as their starting quarterback going into the 2020 season.
You don't think they get Cam?
I don't think Cam is New England Patriot
Material.
Yeah. I didn't want to use that word, but I don't think he's New England Patriot material. I think Andy Dalton is more New England Patriot material, if anything, and possibly who's the other quarterback out there that nobody's talking about? Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston could learn a lot from the Bill Belichick system too. Mm-hmm. That would be a good pickup though, if Bill Belichick picked up Jameis Winston, but it would probably be sometime around training camp, I would think, so we can get him for cheap.
Yeah.
Because this is how they operate. They try to get players in there for the minimum, and then that's what people seem to forget about Tom Brady. They keep on saying Tom Brady took a pay cut to play with the New England Patriots, but have we ever sat back and thought about maybe Tom Brady took a pay cut because he actually needed Bill Belichick right there to help him out? Just saying. That's something to think about for you, Banks, if you're still listening.
You didn't say the magic word. Now, Tom Brady.
Okay, but before we close it out, I do have one more topic for you guys. We are going to talk about Tom Brady though. This just popped up in my head. But do you think that there's a lot more pressure on Tom Brady to be successful with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I'll go first. I think everybody's expectations are so high just because this guy has two of the top 5 leading receivers in the league. He has potentially a top 5 tight end and whatever. It's so many different aspects people don't look at. Like, let's take a look at their running game, which was not good, not great. All right, it was trash. The running game was trash, meaning the O-line might have problems there. So Tom Brady could be on his ass half the season. And let's take a look at the defense. The defense stood up to what? Carolina.
They were top 5. They had I wouldn't count divisional games because they're divisional games, but their defense was top 5.
Those divisional games against Atlanta and the Saints, I would count those because if you stand up against them two teams defensively, you pretty good in my book. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, let me ask you this: do you think Devontae Parker's a good receiver?
I would have to say yes. How he came on at the end of the season.
Okay, I was just curious because the way that he just manhandled Stephon Gilmore, that was gonna put a lot more stock into him.
He was good at Buffalo to me, but I just don't like the Patriots.
So I guess this is just the wrong question all the way to just ask you that.
Bro.
Maybe Devontae Parker just has Gilmore's number. I don't know.
Could be. Hopefully, it's one of them things.
It happens.
I guess. But what do you think, Black Lion, as far as expectations for Tom Brady in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I think the expectations is high just because it is Tom Brady. You know, he's arguably, if not the greatest quarterback of all time.
Arguably.
You know, so it's really people wanting to see, can he do it without the Patriots and Belichick? And I think it's pressure on the Patriots as well, you know. Can Bill Belichick do it with another quarterback behind center? So I think it's added pressure on both teams. If I had to say who has more pressure, I would say Brady, because he's going to a new franchise that hasn't had nearly the success that the Patriots have. So I think a lot of fans are really excited and really want to see some more success than they have been experiencing for the past couple of years. So I think it's pressure on both sides, but mainly on Tom Brady. But I think he can get it done, you know. He is Tom Brady, and he does have weapons over there.
Y'all think it's going to come into comparison with Peyton Manning and his Indianapolis Colts Denver Broncos situation?
I do.
So we can all agree that if Tom Brady does not run a smooth offense with Tampa Bay, people are just gonna jump right into the conclusion that he can't do what Peyton Manning did.
You're gonna have Tom Brady haters saying that.
I think
I'm sure.
I don't want to say uneducated because I don't want to disrespect people, but I think the people that don't like Tom Brady is going to say something regardless.
Right.
So
We are.
I think it's going to be added criticism wherever, you know.
True. I can agree with you on that.
It'll be
But
the same thing with like people that don't like Peyton Manning, or people that like Tom Brady better than Peyton Manning, or people that like Steve Young better than Tom Brady. You know, we're all biased in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And with good reason, some of us, but some of us are just head over heels with Tom Brady.
I guess we can all agree on that one. Huh? Banks, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
I think he's full of. He got a mouthful of Tom Brady right now. So.
Oh, he got a mouthful of Tom Brady. Oh, he gone anyway. I guess he knew it was time to go.
Man.
But Black Lion, like always, we do appreciate you being on the podcast. Love to have you on again.
Definitely. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate it, bro. Looking forward to gaming with you in the future. Now that I just added you, by the way.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. I see we having some technical difficulties. All right.
Thank goodness it was at the end. But thought for the day, man. Everybody appreciate y'all listening. Thank y'all for taking y'all time out y'all day. We know it's hectic right now with all this craziness going on. Just keep y'all family safe. Y'all be safe, clean. Thank y'all for listening.
All right. Wes had it said and done. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel Not For Debate, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, The GreatOne DeVore. It's also going to be posted up on there. And this is the Not For Debate team. We are out.
Peace.